Hey, my loves, it's Tiffany, the Miracles Coach. So, listen, I have a Miracles Unscripted episode that I need to post, but today is the 2nd of March. And actually, I really didn't even think about this yesterday. I mean, I think it was Sunday, and, I was kind of like doing the family thing, and I wasn't really thinking about posting because I don't have to think about that kind of stuff anymore. I don't feel like I have to post all the time. But I really, really wanted to make a post yesterday, and it really just did not happen because I had other things going on. I really took a lot of extended time for myself yesterday because I felt like I really needed that. And so, yeah, the post just didn't get up, and that's okay. But I did end up putting up a post today, and it really fired me up even more than I expected. And then on top of that, from the time I had yesterday, and then also now I have more space and energy to really think about what I really wanted to say in the post. The post came out way better than I expected. I ended up making a Miracles Unscripted episode, which I probably wouldn't have done yesterday because I would have been wanting to get downstairs to my family and stuff like that. So I just love the way God does things. I just love how when we allow things to just flow and stop pressuring ourselves and forcing ourselves to get things done at the time we feel like they have to be done. This is such a big thing. And I just see this constantly going on online where people are saying like, do the things and get it done and just push through and da-da-da. You can't force things. Sometimes you just got to let things flow and you realize that they turn out even more beautiful than you expected. So I really, really have to tell you like how excited I am about the month of March. First of all, there's just something so special to me about new months that start right at the beginning of a new week because they always bring about like an energy of fresh starts and new beginnings. Is it just me or is that really like a thing? Because I just feel like I love when a month starts on the first day of the week, like Sunday or Monday, something like that. I get really excited about that because it makes me feel like no matter what happened last month, last week, yesterday, you can actually choose to begin again today. Now, this episode is actually a little scripted because I created a post and I'm really kind of using it as my guide for this message because I really wanted to share what I shared in this post because once I wrote it, I was like, I really can just put this in the Miracles Unscripted episode and it can really go up on the YouTube channel. Like people need to hear this. Like I didn't expect it to be all that it became, but now that it is, I was like, I need to share this. So anyway, but the thing is that we honestly get new beginnings every day, right? Like God's mercy is new every day. So we can start again at any particular time. Actually, not just every day, any moment you can start again. You can choose to begin again. But sometimes I think that when we have this energy of new beginnings, sometimes we just need a reason to like begin again. And that's why New Year's is so thrilling because people feel like, oh, I can just kind of forget everything that happened last year and just latch a hold of this new year and just really make it what I want. That's really the energy of the new year. And actually, what's interesting about this is that in many traditions and calendars, March is the new year for them, like it's specifically around the spring equinox, March 20th. That usually marks the actual new year in some traditions. So in some cultures, they actually celebrate their new year in spring for this exact reason, because this is when nature resets, when spring ushers in rebirth and renewal, when the astrological year begins with Aries season. And then, I mean, think about it, like winter is over, right? Like we're about to step into the spring. We're about to get warm weather again. Things are starting to come alive again. The trees are going to start getting their leaves again. Like it's just a beautiful time of year. We're going to see the bees buzzing around. Like everybody kind of loves spring. I mean, it's not my favorite season, but I definitely love this time of year. And March isn't just a new month. It's a new beginning in the truest sense. And by the way, one of the reasons why I love March so much, it's always been my favorite month because it's not only my birth month and my personal new year. So I always celebrate the new year in March because it's my birthday, but also it's the month that Miraculous Women was born. It is the month that my brand was created and named Miraculous Women and all of those things. And this is my 11th year of business, which is so exciting to me because 11 is my absolute favorite number. So it does not shock me, all of these things that are going on, the fire horse energy, 2026 just being a new year that I know is going to bring lots and lots of miracles, all of these downloads that God has given me in the past few months. Like, I just can't even put it into words. We have Women's History Month. I mean, literally, March is the month that was made for Miraculous Women. So if you are a part of this community, I feel like it's your month, right? Not just my month because it's my birth month or the month of my brand, but because you are with me in this community and you are considering yourself a miraculous woman, it's your month too. And then on top of all of that, we add this fire horse energy that we just stepped into. And I honestly just cannot help but feel like this is going to be the most miraculous March that we've had so far. And one of the most miraculous months of this year. I won't say it will be the most because like I told you guys, I always want to think future tense. Like the best yet. Yeah. And so 2026, I feel like this year is already insane. It's already on fire. It's already off to a miraculous start. At least my year has been. And I feel like it's been kind of a collective energy. I've been hearing this from other people as well. But something about March just feels different. And this could just be because, maybe I'm a little biased because it's my month. But I feel like this month is giving us a clear message that God is indeed doing a new thing. God has been telling me that he's doing a new thing since 2023. And I just feel like we are finally seeing that. And I know that he was doing a new thing all that time. And it's interesting. I love that scripture so much because in one of the translations, I can't remember which one, I think it might be the New Living Translation, but he says, forget the former things. I am doing a new thing. Do you not perceive it? And what I love about that so much that it doesn't really translate into other translations is because he says, do you not perceive it? That means you have to see it before you see it, right? You have to perceive it with your spiritual eyes. You can't actually see it physically yet. Perceiving means you're feeling into something that hasn't happened yet, right? That's perception. But when you are perceiving it, it's like, okay, God, I might not see everything that you're doing right now, but I know that you're doing a new thing. And that's how it felt in 2023. Like, I know things are stirring up. Like, I can feel the energy of the stir, but I'm still not seeing the physical manifestations of the things that you're saying. Where's this new thing at, God, right? But now, finally, in 2026, I can see, and I've been seeing it every year. So I'm not saying I don't see it or I didn't see it before, but I can really, really see fruits of it and what the new thing is that God was doing. And I just feel like God is doing a new thing. And so this month is giving us an opportunity to have a fresh start, another fresh start. And I feel like it's cool because it kind of gives you an excuse to let go of all the BS that you carried from last year or last month or last week or whatever, and you can focus on creating something new. We just went through an intense shedding period, and I feel like I've pretty much shedded everything there is to shed, but I feel like there's always more to surrender. There's always more to let go of. There's always more to release. This is something I always teach my clients, there's always more. There's always more. When you think you've surrendered enough, surrender some more. Yeah, because there's just always more. There's always something else you can find to surrender. So here are 3 things that I would recommend to do this month if you want to anchor into this new beginning, fire energy. And we're going to use my 3-step manifestation process, the Millionaire Map, to do this. Now, I mentioned this in one of the last audios. I think it's the last one that you guys received. I actually recorded another one literally the next day because a whole bunch of other stuff dropped through that I ended up sharing. So you'll get that one after this one, but I'm pretty sure I shared it in the one that you would have already received and possibly listened to that one. But if you haven't, I will go back and listen to that one first because it'll make a little more sense. But my Millionaire Map process is decide, surrender, embody. The Millionaire Map, the MAP in MAP stands for Miracle Activation Process. So it's the Millionaire Miracle Activation Process. And it's interesting because God has now kind of had me rebrand my entire brand to adding millionaire and millions to things, which I find so interesting. And I love because when I tell you, I have been racking my brain for months trying to find different titles for things and deciding what I wanted to call different frameworks that I've created and things like that. Because I feel like when you kind of want to trademark something, you want to have an actual name that will stick. And I just couldn't figure it out. I just went through it so much. I asked ChatGPT. I went back and forth a bunch of times. Just I can't figure out a name for this. And then, of course, when the millions message drops in January, now everything is kind of rebranded Millionaire, and it just makes so much sense. But anyway, whole different story for a different day. Let's get into the 3 things that I would recommend that you do this month to anchor into this new beginning fire energy. And this is my 3-step process: decide, surrender, embody. So the first thing you want to do is decide who you are being and what you are calling in. Now, remember, deciding is so important. And the first decision that you always have to make, this is one of the first things I teach in my 3-step process, is that you have to decide who you are being. Who are you going to be in this process, right? You get to decide, are you one with God? Are you a miraculous woman? Are you a literal walking, breathing miracle in motion? Are you going to be her? Are you going to be who God created you to be? Or are you just going to continue to be fearful and doubtful and I don't know God and I can't do this because I don't have these resources and blah, 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 blah. Who are you going to be? That's the first decision that you have to make, right? And then you decide, what are you calling in? And I know you've been thinking about this. You've been feeling it. You maybe even been praying about it. But March is the month that you need to decide, okay? No more playing around. We're going to make a decision. What are you deciding and claiming for 2026? Because remember, I mentioned this in the surrender experience on the very first day, or yeah, I think it was day one. And then I also mentioned this in the last audio when I was talking about decide, surrender, and body. Without this actual step, you will not manifest what you want. So decision is so very important. And so what are you claiming for 2026? What seeds are you planting right now that you want to harvest later this year? The fire horse energy supports bold, courageous decisions. So stop waiting for permission, stop second guessing, and decide what you're going to have. Then you can take one bold action that proves to yourself and the universe that you're serious. Plant the seeds this month, make the decision, take the action. Watch what grows when you do this, okay? Number 2, release what has been weighing you down. Now, and I always teach this when I teach the 3-step process. These can go around and around, right? Like decide, surrender, and body is the way that I put it in as a process. But sometimes you need to release first. Sometimes you got to let stuff go before you can actually step into that identity that you want to have or decide what you are creating. Sometimes you feel like you need to surrender some things. So regardless of what order you feel like you need to do it, release what's been weighing you down. This is the perfect time to let go of anything you've been carrying, limiting beliefs, toxic relationships, people who don't need to be going or can't go where you're going. That's one of the big messages that God gave me early on, like sometime when I started doing the surrender experience. Everybody can't go where you're going, Tiffany. So you're going to have to let some things, some people go. And it sucks sometimes, but it is what it is, because I refuse to stunt my growth because I want to stay in kindergarten with somebody else. You get what I'm saying? So here's what we're doing. Releasing toxic relationships. And it doesn't even have to be toxic. Sometimes it's just something that is not meant to be in your space anymore. Sometimes some people aren't meant to be a part of your life anymore. It is what it is. Reason, season, lifetime. Everybody does not come to stay. Yeah. So you can let go of strategies that aren't working, goals that bore you, or goals that are really maybe something that you're just holding on to because you think it's what you should have. It could be so many things around this. What old story are you done carrying? What do you need to let go of to make space for what's coming? Okay. Make space for the new by releasing the old. And this could be literal cleaning as well, deleting old files, cleaning your space. I clean up my social media. I used to clean it up a lot. I don't really have to anymore because it's usually, as long as you stay focused on what you're focused on, and the algorithm will give you the right kind of stuff. But sometimes you need to clear out your social media. Who do you need to delete? Those types of things. This could also be energetic. So forgiveness work, releasing hopo ono, or however you pronounce it. Like, when people say, I forgive you, I love you, I release you, or whatever the saying is. Really, really good rituals to do. Okay. So release what is weighing you down. And then you want to embody. Okay. Last step of the manifestation process. Embody the woman you've already decided to be this year. Anytime you hear me stress the word be, it's because I have it capitalized. In my mind, it's capitalized. Who you are being. Yeah. So embody the woman you've already decided that you're going to be this year. You may have decided in January or at the end of December or whenever you decided around the new year, like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to be this person. It's March now. Are you still holding true to that? Or did you already forget? Or did you already stop practicing or embodying that? Yeah. So you've seen the vision of who you're meant to be. God has shown you this vision probably since you were young. I know that I've seen it since I was young, right? This is the woman that I have decided that I am going to be. Notice I'm not saying becoming also. That's a whole other conversation for a different day, so I won't get into it. But notice I'm not saying becoming, because people use that word a lot, and I really cannot stand that word, okay? We're not becoming anything. We are being who God already created us to be. We are shedding the layers that are holding us back and stopping us from being the woman that we were already created to be. God already created you miraculous. You already are the miracle, right? There's nothing that you have to do to make that happen besides get rid of the crap that's weighing you down. And then you can be her. You just have to remember who you are. You have to remember your oneness with God. You have to remember that you are the miracle. You have to remember that everything flows from God through you. That's it. So there really is no becoming anybody else. You can't become something that you already are. You just be it. Yeah. So the millionaire, the woman living in freedom, the one who's fully expressed and unapologetic. March is the month to stop preparing and like talking about being her and thinking about being her and just being her and actually embody her now. How does she think? What does she believe about herself? How does she move through her day? What does she prioritize? Decide who you are being. And this is the interesting thing that I always try to help people understand, is that it's not about some goal. We can talk about the millionaire or the woman living in freedom and all these different things, but at the end of the day, it's just all about that oneness with God. That's who you are embodying, God's literal essence. right? The essence and the frequency, like that is what you want to embody, God, right? And as you embody God and God's ways and God's essence, then you start to see that it's so much easier to manifest the things that you want to manifest in your life. Okay? So decide who you are being. Surrender the old version of you and then embody her right now, today, in this moment. Not when you hit the goal, not when you see proof or evidence of the thing happening, not when, the 3D starts to line up and show you what you want to see. Decide now. That's how miracles happen. New possibilities are everywhere. Fresh energy is flowing. And if you feel that pull towards something bigger, bolder, more aligned, then trust that. Okay. So let's step into Miraculous March fully. Let's claim what's ours. Let's watch everything that we have desired all of this time, in this shedding season and all of those times that we were thinking like, God, where are you? Where are the things that you promised me? Let's start to watch all of those things unfold exactly the way they were meant to. Okay. Back in 2014, my life was miraculously transformed in less than 6 months. And I've seen the same thing happen to many of my clients over the past decade using this exact process. So I know how swiftly and how seemingly overnight miracles can start to happen and pop up. And January was just a warm up. This is when the real miracles start. It's your time. Okay. So I'm so excited for you. If you're claiming this miraculous energy that we're stepping into this month, let me know down in the comments. All right. I love you guys so much. I hope you have a beautiful, extraordinary, miraculous day. And also, just to add, I actually teach the full 3-step millionaire map process in Millions of Miracles, which is now in the membership in the Miracles realm. So I would love for you to check that out if you want to know more about this. All right. I will talk to you soon. Mwah. Lots of love and miracles.